Hello, hello, can you hear me? It seems like you can. Give me a moment. Alright. Good afternoon, everybody. It is 9:19 here in Minot, North Dakota, and I know I say that a lot in my videos, but it's just so you guys know what time it is and that I look very tired, and that might be a reason why. Normally my bedtime is usually around 9 or 10, because that's how I kind of train myself, because I work so much. I'm not like an actual job, just working on other things, so Uh, today's video is probably going to get a little deep, and it's probably going to get a little dark more than usual, but I feel like I need to say something. And since, again, I don't have, shit. God damn it. Hold on. Hold on. Ah, we got it. We got it. We got it. We got it. There. Now you guys can see my stupid face. Maybe I should turn around. There. Now you guys can see my stupid fucking face. I'm very tired, but I'm also not super hungry, but my belly kind of has been growling a little bit. And I don't really want a peanut butter and jelly. I don't want eggs, and I don't want any milk. So I'm kind of heating up a quick little microwavable dinner. Anyway, one of my friends this morning was in kind of a rut. He felt cornered. He felt really stressed out. He was a bit snippy, and he was literally close to the edge of ending it all. And he's very heavily sensitive than I am, and I didn't want to upset him more or push him any further, so I kind of backed off. But I slowly just been making suggestions, being very open, and trying to show him that as much love as possible. And I know I may slightly get a chance of people yelling at me or leaving nasty comments saying, you don't know what it's like, you never been there, blah, 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 blah. But I do have some sense of what he has been going through. All the depression, all the anger, all the anxiety, insecurities, the hopelessness, the loss of value that you have in yourself, the sense of worthlessness, and all these negative things that just build up inside of you. And it makes you literally feel ill. It makes you feel lost. It makes you feel more alone. And it literally tears you up inside to where you literally cry yourself to sleep. Or you just wake up dead in the morning and be dead for weeks on end. And then when people try to say, oh, what's wrong? You know, why aren't you smiling? I was just wondering where you're at. And I'm like, and then you'll be like, I'm fine. Because deep down, you know, with the way they said it, with the way they're talking to you, it just gives you a sense that, you know, they don't care. They're only here for someone else. You know, even the few times that you try to talk to them, it feels like, you know, nothing's going to work. You're not going to feel better or anything. So, me and him kind of talked quite a bit this morning, but I won't say his name or anything. I just hope he's feeling better and to know that he's not alone. I have done stuff like this with my friends a lot. I have only mentioned this Once to my cousin, I opened up a little bit about this, and her response was totally negative. It totally wasn't helpful at all, and I'm never going to talk to her about any of this stuff ever again, because one of my closer friends, Steven, he was very depressed. He felt that love was never possible for him because he keeps getting dumped. He keeps getting dumped and cheated on. No one ever loves him. You know, he's always fighting with his mom, and he has no one that understands him. No one that understands him, and he hates his job. He hates everything. He would get so angry he would punch holes in the walls, and he would keep punching until his knuckles bled. He would stay up late or drink all night and pass out. He'd basically do a lot of stupid stuff, and I was worried about him. Every time my friends do this, I just don't want to be hearing it on Facebook or from one of their friends that they just end up going too far and end up in the hospital. Or I don't even know if I can really say it, but hopefully you guys, you know what I mean. Because I've seen one of my family members already go through with losing one of her friends, and it's really hard to describe. I don't even think there's any words to describe what she went through over losing one of her friends to suicide. And I know my cousin, who I opened up to that one time, also lost a friend, but I've never seen her talk about it. It's always away from me. And her response when I was talking to her in the kitchen, she said, "You can't save them all, Melinda. You can't save them all. He's most likely only doing it for attention." I don't care if you had your moments in your past. I don't care if you had the briefest of instances of harming yourself or anything like that. Or even if you had nothing like that growing up. You don't say something like that about somebody. Specifically when it's a friend of mine that I've known for probably almost a year now. I may not know all about him, but at least I know something, and I understand and I agree that I cannot save them all, but I will still be a friend. I will still try to be there for them, even if I have to stay on the phone for hours. And I've had to sit and stand with him at least 2 times, and of course it was for hours. And Stephen is from across the seas and on a small foreign island or country or whatever. It looks really small, but it just reminds me of Paris. You know, all those movies, you see those old buildings and the stone streets. That's what it reminds me of every time I see photos of when him and his buddies were drinking. But I literally did not talk to her at all. I just couldn't believe she said something like that. And I said, he's doing this, he's doing that. You know, I came to her for advice, you know, what can I say to help comfort him, because everything that I was saying that came from my heart didn't seem to go through him. And she just said, you can't save them all. It's his choice. And just from the things that I was saying that he was doing, specifically to me sometimes, that's all she said is, he's just doing it for attention. And I was like, I just really hate that. I really hate it. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's just because I'm trying to defend my friend. You know, I really believe, even though I've never been in that situation that deeply or for that long as some of my friends have been, sometimes they do that attention seeking for a reason. There's maybe almost 5 billion zillion people on this planet. And chances are some of them are going to get overlooked, underestimated, ignored, beaten, abused, traumatized, and totally left out of the loop of their own family members that they share the house with. They get no say in anything. They don't get no voice. They don't even get, you know, talks that they need from their own family members when they need it, whether that's with love, with school, with trying to figure out their own insecurities. Granted, some of them just need to be left alone so they can try to figure that out on their own. But parents and family members like my cousin or whoever is friends with Steven only need to be at his side. Because when you're in situations like that, you need friends a lot more than family. Because I've been experiencing as of late that when family won't understand it, when they expect something else, more pure, more innocent, then they won't have your back. They'll just leave you in the dark. And that's what has caused a lot of my stress and distrust and isolation and distancing from my family. Is because a lot of the things when I needed to talk to them, when I accidentally let my stress and upsetness slip, or when I tried to ignore them, they act very negatively, unsupportive, and insensitively towards me. And I feel like I've been getting a lot of vocal abuse, which I think that's what I'm getting, but I'm not quite sure. But I try to ignore it, but I still stay pissed at them for weeks. And I will never forgive them for all the words and all the actions they chose to take towards me. But this live stream isn't going to be about me. It's going to be about my friends. And he suggested not to say anything. That was basically, from what I could tell, trying to do this on his own. And he wouldn't talk about it, which is understandable. But I was slowly telling him it's best not to do this on your own. It'll tear you apart till you're literally drowning in it. And I told him it's not healthy. But I also told him, on a positive note, that he's surrounded by friends that actually care about him. He has a boyfriend that loves and cares for him, and you make each other laugh, you make each other blush, you do all this kind of, lovey-dovey crap that I probably won't ever understand for a couple more years. But I always see the love and the art that they request for each other, the messages they leave each other, the comments and replies, and I'm just astounded at how much love they have for each other. So I try to maybe remind them of that. And his sadness, his loneliness and high anxiety and everything only kind of reminded me of myself. But the only difference is between us, he's a lot more sensitive than me, and I tend to hide it a little bit better because of how I've learned over the years to protect myself. And I know that's not healthy either. But again, this live feed isn't about me. It's about my friends and how much I care about them and how much I'm trying to return the favor by gifting them my love and attention and my advice, even though I've never been in situations like they have, but I've seen it on faces of family. I've heard the emotions that it ripples through the house. I've seen it as evidence on skin and the pain in the poems and drawings people do. And it's really hard for me to watch, but now I know evidence of when someone is hurting. Though I may not have the exact words for it, I still want to be able to help in some way because I know this world is pretty fucked up and dark, but you can't let those things inside your head, those things in your chest, all the pain, the sense of betrayal, the heartache and the loneliness, and just not things going your way, take you down with them. That'll only prove that they are stronger. Now, in times like this, in times like that, when I've had, indeed, some instances where I felt really alone, where I felt like nobody, not even my family, cared, where I felt like the world was against me. I literally had moments where I didn't really care, that I had thoughts, like thoughts forming, which I quickly broke down and destroyed, where I was like, what if I just ignore it? What if I just walk away? What if I just not do anything about it and just not say anything? What if I just let myself, absorb it and just swallow it whole and slowly just choke on it? Won't anybody even react then? But I kind of did a bit of both things, of swallowing it whole. I didn't choke on it, but it just went into the dark well and all the closets that I have. Maybe that's what she meant by the darkness. It's really strange that war, hate, robbery, disease, chemical reactions, mutations, illegal stuff like that can kill us pretty quickly and drive us mad. But the worst enemy of all is inside of us. That's where the true devils, that's where the true Satan, that's where the true demons lie. That's the ultimate weapon, is within ourselves. And we never talk about it. We never express how much it hurt us, how much it tears us apart and keeps us awake at night and follows us everywhere we go. How it drives us to drink, how it drives us to smoke weed and do drugs and cut and scream and fight with our family members and literally have our whole universe torn apart by these feelings, these negative thoughts, these bad images, these urges just to be set free. When I believe the only medicine that there can be is friendship and love, when no one seems to offer it or see the worth that we all have. That's why I told him, creativity is the best medicine. Anything creative can at least help you in some way, because that's how I've been dealing with all the emotions, all the stress, all the sense of worthlessness and hopelessness I've been doing with, besides Xbox, and stress eating sometimes, and being on my phone all the time, is my drawing and my art, my drawings, and my poetry and writing stories has been the only thing that's kept me sane. Family doesn't help. There's sayings when they say, oh, we'll be here for you. We really care about you. All you gotta do is talk to us. But then I have moments in my head where, like, well, when I try to talk to you, you throw it back in my face, you yell at me, you threaten me, you let others do the same to me, and you just stand there and do nothing. And that's the worst moments, when I feel such an attack that I literally back away and just go cry by myself in the cold of night. And so far, only my friends and my own inner strength has been the only ones that kept me through this. So thank you, friends, whoever watches this. If you're my friend on Facebook or on Instagram, then this is a shout out for you. But this is also to myself, for being so strong when no one else gave you the strength to stand back up. This is to you also, myself, for having courage to keep going when, again, no one else was behind you, when no one was holding your hand, when no one was cheering you on from the sidelines. Even when family are jerks, are assholes and insensitive and uncaring and blabbermouths, you are the only best friend that you can have in your own company. So I just wanted to say, before I go eat supper and everything, that you are loved no matter how you were raised, no matter how many arrows you have in your back, no matter how many knives or how big of a hole or how much you're bleeding or how much you feel alone and so much hatred and nowhere to turn. No matter if you feel unloved, you are unloved in some place or another. Someone is out there waiting for you, and it's just a matter of sweet dreams tonight. I send my energy out to my friend, all my friends that feel this way. I'm so tired. All right, signing off. Bye.